Food for Thought with Professor David Bitte.
How then do we create awareness, especially within
Yeah.
the police force and their families, and also
Yeah.
how do we deal with the stigma associated with mental health issues?
Yes, the best way is for the police force, and I'm sure they already know, to know what could possibly be happening. And I think these people can be approached personally, not personally, but officially,
Yeah.
so that they are educated, they get this and to understand what might be happening and what could be done, the importance of the spouse and the family, and getting them know and getting educated right from the beginning so
Yes.
that they know.
Yes.
So we create awareness, we create knowledge. That is very, very important because we say knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power, yes.
Now, as far as stigma is concerned, I would not care very much, and I'll tell you the reason why. I would not care very much, or I would not put it at the same level, stigma from the community, but it's important. But it's very important if those key people, the administration, the individual, and the individual person, the individual policeman, and the family,
The family.
those three, yeah, if they are given adequate information and training, including people working within the system, they be psychologists, psychiatrists, if they have any, not very many, social workers, and for the social workers and psychologists, also to be able to recognize this condition and also know that there are certain times when these people have clinical condition which needs active mental health treatment. So if we get that triad working,
Yeah.
I think we are very good. In the sense that the police officers, the administration will not stigmatize mental illness.
Yes.
The family will not stigmatize mental illness. Everybody will be reading from the same script. If you do that, then you remove the stigma at the circle where it matters most. Yeah.
I'll add to the families because, like you said,
Yes.
the families are the ones who bear the brunt, the consequences. You know, they're the ones who are affected the most by this individual. Whether it is a policeman, a policewoman, eventually they come back home. You know, and so if as children, as a spouse, we are seeing all these things, where do we run to for help?
I think the most important thing, in my view, is that there should be avenues for the spouses within the system to run to raise an alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, within the system, and also for the reason that I mentioned a little bit earlier, the system can be a little bit closed. That if you have any problem, any treatment must be within our system for things like that. I think that's an open discussion, but you cannot stop people or a spouse going to see somebody else, and if they come, you see, it's like we don't want anybody to know.
Yeah.
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 And please keep it a secret, and we are bound. Yeah, you keep it confidential.
Yeah.
But if it can be so open, say they come to see a psychiatrist, I'm having this problem with my husband and things like that. I do not think it is fair for the psychiatrist to take it upon themselves alone to be able to manage when and perhaps incur expensive bills. You see, expensive bills, hospitals are very expensive.
Yes.
Is it possible that any psychiatrist or psychologist who sees kind of situation in a family I think there are two ways to address that issue without breaking confidentiality. Is it possible that lady or even her husband to go to the system within their operations and say, this is, I think this is happening with my husband, and make it a little bit more open that, how did you know that? Who did you talk to? Where did they go to those places? Can you make it a little bit open? In the sense that the person who raises the alarm has a way out to get into the system. And I think that's what we should be doing. It should be possible that when I see a patient here and I know what the problem is, instead of admitting to a hospital or spending a lot of time and money going to see a psychiatrist, why don't we direct them to that channel? I think that is a moral responsibility. I think it is, you are doing this not for the money. You are doing it because you want to help. I think that can be done. And if there's, if there's a problem, say, I have seen a patient, can it be maybe at the level of training? Maybe you can go and see so and so. You can go and see a doctor of your choice, but let the doctor write a report to us, and we will accept it, and we will not victimize you. We will not start asking you, why did you go there? Who gave you permission to do that? Because that's the thing that we hear a lot.
I've also seen this in movies where those in the force, they go through the force and then they retire. And now some of these mental health complications become magnified when they're retired.
Yes.
Does that also happen here? And how do you deal with that?
Well, I know for sure
it
happens outside there.
Okay.
Can we continue take care of them even after they retire? Especially if the illness that the condition that they have are related to the conditions that they experience when they are in active service. So they should be, we should not just let them go because they are not providing the service anymore. That if it's possible, and if they can develop the resources and the system, I think it will be great.
Okay. For spouses who are listening to this conversation, and now they have a better understanding that their husband or their wife, being a police officer or being in the armed forces, when they're out there, they do interact with things that may give them trauma. How best can they support them on a day-to-day?
Getting people who are going through similar experiences can be extremely helpful and very effective. Because they will just sit there and the people start talking about their experiences. And they say, I did this thing, this is how I experienced, this is what I experienced, and this is what I were going through, and this is what I did. Somebody else who is normally an introvert and doesn't talk very much, they will be listening. And they say, oh yes, I went through that. I have not been able to talk about it. I am experiencing the same problems that person, and this is how they handled that situation and seem to work. And so they will bring different ideas together, different experiences, provided they are organized in such a way that they can have dialogue. And I think in the long run, maybe there should be organized groups of spouses where they can talk about this in a safe, professional, well-controlled environment. And that is very possible. I think that will be much more effective, many times much more effective in terms of one-on-one. I'm not saying there is no position on one-on-one, but those people, maybe they just, because they are they share this common factor.
Yes.
That they have these policemen and husbands who are involved. Whether they have experienced their conditions or not, let them come and listen to others and then maybe contribute. Extremely effective. We did that in Angoli, did here in the American Embassy when we realized that we just couldn't cope. That's what they did in Rwanda. They had killed all their professionals,
Yeah.
and we told them, why don't you go do it this way? And it seemed to work beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something that can be done,
Okay.
and I think something that the police force need to think about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Professor, as we finish, because our time is almost up, what would be your concluding remarks to the policemen and the policewomen who watch this segment? What would you tell them?
We appreciate you. Many Kenyans appreciate you. Doing a good job. Nobody is perfect, but on balance, you are doing a very good job. That is a message to them. There's a message to the police officers, the people who are the bosses.
Yeah.
They are doing a wonderful job. We really, really, really appreciate. We have no way of thanking them. And with that, I think is that we think. I would say, having said that, we appreciate you. I think then we hope there will be mechanisms to translate that appreciation to some tangible results. Yeah, I think that's my message to them.
Professor, thank you so much for your time. Yes. We thank God for you. Yeah. I hope this conversation has been beneficial to you and given you some insight on how you can be a part of creating awareness and a part of implementing change where mental health issues are concerned, especially within our police force. If you're watching and you're part of the police force, let me take the time to appreciate the work that you do. And I hope this conversation has given you some insight. I'm glad something is being done, but we can do more. Until next week, God bless you.
Food for Thought with Professor David Bitte.